Pigs and Julius, okay? So before you guys go and do your independent group, I want to review again what we are doing. So we read the story Julius, and was Julius fantasy or was it informational? Or was it? It was fantasy. We know that because Julius danced. How else do we know that?
Because Julius wears clothes.
He wears clothes. Can pigs wear clothes?
No.
No, pigs don't wear clothes. So that's a really big clue that Julius was a fantasy story, okay? And we talked about the pig story being real. It's informational. It's nonfiction because it was a real story about a real pig, and there were real pictures, okay? So together we will compare and contrast characters from fantasy and nonfiction texts. What's a text? What's a text? Julie, what's a text? If I say a nonfiction text, what does that mean? If someone sends a text message, what is a text? Words, exactly. So words are anything you read, okay? A book is a text. It's something that you read, okay? So we have our fantasy text, which was Julius, and our nonfiction text, which was pigs, okay? So what we are doing here is we are comparing and contrasting characters. What does compare and contrast mean? What does compare and contrast mean? If I want to compare something and contrast something, what am I actually doing? I'm finding information about these characters, but what kind of information? Brianna?
How the nonfiction is not fantasy, and
You're right in that, but like if I'm taking the two characters, okay, think about the map that we're using today. What information am I finding? How the characters are okay, do you want to call on someone with their hand up that can help you out?
like compare and contrast means similar and different.
Similar and different, okay? So how they are the same or different. Similarities and differences. Mirrors speak. Compare and contrast is finding how things are the same or different. So we're finding similarities and differences. Things are the same and different. So what we're doing is we're going to take the two characters, okay? What are the characters in our story? They're both pigs, okay? So we're going to compare the pigs. So down here I'm going to write compare and contrast the pigs. How we are doing that? We read two stories this morning. What was one story, Jaden?
One story was Julius, and the other story was the pigs.
We're going to read Julius and pigs. We also talked about the similarities, so I'm going to put we talked and we shared. And the last thing that you guys are independently doing to compare and contrast is making what kind of map? 214, what kind of map?
Double map.
Double bubble. And I have the double bubble example over here, but just, I'm going to draw a mini one because I like drawing my little maps so you guys remember. And where do we put the similarities? Where do we put the ones that are the same? The things that are the same, where do we put them in our map? What section? Dylan, what section do we put them in our map? Where they're the same.
The Y.
What, like on the left, on the right, in the middle, where do you put the same? In the middle, exactly. So if they're the same, the similarities, you put them in the middle. And where do you put the differences? That only relate to one character or the other. Where do you put the differences? Ethan, where do you put the differences?
Left or right?
The left or the right, okay? And it must connect to the pig you're talking about. So for Julius, are you going to say he lives in a barn?
No.
No. Where would that go? What side would that go on?
Pig.
Would that go on the Julius side or the pig side? The pig side, okay? So over on the sides are where they are different. And why would we be doing this activity? What does comparing and contrasting characters help us do? Layla?
To figure out what the characters are.
So to help us learn about the characters?
Yeah.
Okay. Help us learn about characters. Julia?
For minds to grow.
For your minds to grow. So everything we do at school is for our minds to grow, okay? When else would you have to compare and contrast? When else would you use this skill? When you're an adult, when would you have to do that?
Probably once you're
What? When you're at work? Okay, I'm at work right now, so what am I doing?
helping us.
I'm helping you guys, so maybe if you wanted to help another person, you could learn how to find similarities or differences within things. Okay, so maybe when you're older, this might be a skill that you need. So we're going to be practicing this skill because this is a skill that you're going to have to use probably your whole life. I know that yesterday at our meeting, Ms. O'Connell and I had to find similarities and differences with the work that we were talking about. We had to compare things. So this is a skill that you can always use whether you're reading another book, whether you're reading two different kinds of books, and we're using nonfiction, which is informational, and we're using fantasy today. So this is helping us read two different types of stories, okay? Finding the differences between two different types of text, okay? So down here I'm going to put types of text.
Miss S, can you talk about the twins in the class?
Raise your hand if you're a twin.
What twin?
Raise your hand if you're a twin. Okay, raise your hand if you're a twin.
I have a twin, but in second grade.
You have a twin brother or sister
I have a twin sister.
at the school.
I mean my cousin.
Oh, then that's not your twin. What is a twin? What's a twin? Kenny, what's a twin?
Another sibling that was born on the same day.
Yeah, so your brother or sister who was born at the same time as you. So Kenny's a twin. His sister